I'm setting out on a quest to read books that inspired classic movies, watch the films, and decide which is better. I'm talking Jaws. I'm talking The Devil Wears Prada. I'm talking The Godfather. If I can bring myself to watch it for a third time after I hated it the first two times. So come along with me for this super fun series if you want to know whether it's worth it to read the book or if you're better off just cozying up with the movie and a big old bowl of popcorn. First up, Jurassic Park. I got bitten by the dinosaur bug in amber a few weeks ago when the new Jurassic World movie was coming out. So Michael Crichton's original Jurassic Park novel from 1990 was stacked on the till in the bookshop where I work. I picked it up and skimmed the first few pages, then put it down and thought, damn, that sounded pretty good. And that's why I'm here today. I'm a big fan of Steven Spielberg's 1993 film adaptation, so I'm very excited to see how the novel goes down. Stay tuned. Okay, so Jurassic Park, what did we think? Let's hear it. Full disclosure, I did finish this a little while ago, and I feel like a lot has happened since I finished it. I wrote and submitted my publishing master's dissertation, 15,000 words, thank you very much, on the environmental impact of publishing. I went to Amsterdam and read Dutch books while I was there. Check out my reading blog. And I don't know what else. That has given Jurassic Park time to percolate in my mind, and I'm finally ready to share my thoughts. If you hear any snoring, that's just Bentley, who is keeping me company in nap form. Let me start by saying that I suspect I'm going to like the film more than I did the book. With that being said, let me share some of the things that I did like about this book. First off, I think it's incredible that Michael Crichton was able to create a story like this, a story about genetic engineering getting to the point that scientists are able to bring back dinosaurs. The themes of capitalist greed are also so strong. The character of Dr. Ian Malcolm had monologues that I really enjoyed reading and reminded me that this story is about so much more than dinosaurs eating people. It's about what happens when people let their money and power run amok and the consequences. I also thought the third person omniscient structure worked really well and in a way made it feel quite cinematic because you're constantly jumping from scene to scene and into different characters' situations, and something like a power cut will happen while one set of characters are stuck on the tracks out on the little tour loop somewhere. Then you'll jump to another set of characters in the control room and they're like, what happened to the power? It felt very cinematic, and I did enjoy that. Same with the opening scene, which I mentioned earlier, that made me want to read it. I love the super rain-drenched tropical jungle setting and this helicopter chopping through the storm because they just have to get to this doctor because this kid has had an accident, but it doesn't look like an accident. It looks like a mauling. Stuff like that just made it feel like watching a movie as well. And the last thing I want to mention is it blows my mind that before this book and movie franchise came out, people didn't know what raptors were. Like, raptors were not in the public vernacular, the public knowledge about dinosaurs. So in the very beginning, when this young man has had a construction accident, he's like basically in a coma and he's whispering raptor, And the doctor's like, raptor? What's that? Not that she would have immediately assumed that a literal dinosaur had attacked him, but still, I thought that was crazy. So, yeah, there was a lot to enjoy about this, but there were also issues that I had. First off, I need to get this out of the way. Every single character he refers to by surname, except for the woman, who he refers to by first name. And the rudeness of that, the disrespect, the audacity, that I cannot move past. She's on the same level as the kids, who, frankly, are the most annoying kids that I have ever experienced. Yeah, no, the boy kid is okay. The girl kid, I'm disappointed, was not eaten by a dinosaur. So yeah, the woman, who is a doctor by the way, did not deserve enough respect to be called by her surname like all the men. To be honest though, that sort of thing is just to be expected. This came out in 1990, so it is 35 years old. It's not like I went into this thinking it was going to be some feminist manifesto. Anyway, another issue I had with regard to the characters was the blatant and highly unnecessary fat phobia. I don't know if it's a reflection of Michael Crichton's views or meant to be giving insight into the characters themselves, who said very cruel things about one of the other characters, but either way it felt very unnecessary and I didn't like it. I definitely took issue with that as well. More broadly, with regard to the characters, another issue I had was with the characterization. I could not keep all the different people straight, and I think it's because they were not differentiated enough. I started getting confused about who was who. I know there was a lawyer, I know there was an archaeologist, I know there were some really annoying kids, but in terms of their actual personality and how they talked and their mannerisms, I just love books where the characterization is so strong that you can see everything about this person, you can see into their soul, and I definitely didn't have that with this, nor was I blown away by the writing in general. He's not going into these with like super flowery imagery or anything like that. He has an idea for a dinosaur park and that's what he's gonna write, and he's not gonna he's not gonna hem and haw about it, and that's totally fair. It's just not my favorite kind of writing. With the writing style, I feel comes a certain lack of oomph. My issues with the writing go hand in hand with my issue with the overall impact of the book. I just feel like the descriptions of the dinosaurs and the attacks and stuff were not as impactful as I remember them being in the film. Oftentimes I had to look up pictures of the dinosaurs because I couldn't really picture them based on what he was describing, and I wonder what people in 1990 did because they couldn't just search up what these dinosaurs look like. They just had to wait for the movie to come out. All in all, I would imagine this sits somewhere around a 3-star, which to me is like, I could take it or leave it, you know? I am happy I finally read it though. And I'm so excited that the time has finally come to rewatch the film, which we're gonna do tonight. How will it compare to the book? I don't remember the last time I watched this or how many times I've seen it. For some reason I feel like I'm very familiar with it, but I don't know if it's because I've seen lots of Jurassic Park movies. Whatever the case may be, I'm super excited to see how it holds up and how it compares to the book and which I will deem superior. So stay tuned. welcome to Jurassic Park. To be completely honest, I thought that I knew this movie a lot better than I actually did. And I also thought that I was a bigger fan of it than I actually was. Which is to say, this was kind of a closer competition than I was expecting. Aside from comparisons with the book, I don't want to go into too much detail about my thoughts about this film because this is not a film bro channel, it's a book girl channel. There was just less iconic stuff in this than I somehow had built up in my mind, but I love the 90s nostalgia, the animatronic dinosaurs, which you just don't get anymore. They don't make them like that anymore. I felt like it was pretty true to the book, but it just felt snappier. That's the best way I can describe it. It was wittier. The characters I felt were more distinct and fleshed out. There was more banter. I heard that the book is said to be a lot darker than the film, which, yeah, I would agree with. Maybe less graphic in the deaths. To be honest, I started filming this video too long ago. My dinosaur bug has flown away. But there is one important thing left to do, and that is name a winner. So, what's it gonna be? Predictions. Put your predictions in the comment. And the winner is...
Drum roll!
Ding, 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 ding. That's right. In my opinion, this film took an idea that was already great and adapted it to make it even better. And I'm happy to have this film in my Blu-ray collection because I'm sure the dinosaur bug will strike again at some point. For now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're still here, I appreciate you so much. Leave your favorite dinosaur emoji in the comments. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.